Hi guys and welcome to Fandom Newbie. My name is Shruti and today's video is a 24-hour readathon of the Ramchandra series. Now in all honesty, for some reason I lost the footage of this intro. So this is me recording the intro again as I'm editing the video. But like I said, this is a reading vlog of the Ramchandra series and I'm going to attempt to read this in 24 hours. Now the Ramchandra series consists of 3 books so far. The first one is Scion of Ikshwaku, second one is Sita, Warrior of Mithila, and the third one is Ravan, Enemy of Aryavarta. Now I have actually already read the Scion of Ikshwaku last year and I didn't really like this book that much, and because I didn't like this book so much, I actually didn't continue reading the series. But I have heard from a lot of people now that these 2 books are actually much better than the first one, so I thought that now would be a good time to actually sit down and attempt binge reading this entire series. So that's what you're going to see in this vlog. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into the video. Okay, so the time is almost 2:30 p.m. and now I'm going to sit and skim read this one. Okay, so the time is now 3:35 and I have just finished fast reading the Scion of Ikshwaku. So basically, I now know why I didn't like this book that much. But before I get into that, let me just explain what the Ramchandra series is about. Basically, this series is a retelling of the Ramayana and the way it's kind of structured is super unique. So Amish has actually explained this at the beginning of each of his books, how this entire series is structured. Each book talks about the events of the Ramayana from the perspective of the different characters. So the first book is from the perspective of Ram, second book Sita, third book Ravan. But how it is structured is that these books end at the point where Ravan captures Sita. So in this book, you get the story of the birth of Ram up until Sita is captured. Here you get the story of Sita and the birth of Sita and everything from Sita's perspective until she's captured. And here you get the story of Ravan until he captures Sita. And then the remaining books in the Ramchandra series will be from the point of Sita's capturing until the end of the story. So that's why I felt like this entire series was really interesting, because the way it's structured is super unique and very different. Having said that, I didn't really enjoy this book so much, and the reason why I didn't enjoy this book is that I felt Amish Tripathi's writing was just very draggy. There are these entire passages of just preachings that Ram gets from his gurus, which are just so draggy and so long and so preachy that it just gets boring after a certain point in time. However, there were some things that I really did enjoy about the book. So the first one being the creative liberties that Amish Tripathi has taken in describing the different characters. So the way he's kind of described Lakshman's character is really endearing. Bharat's character is also really cool. And also Sita's character is super feminist. Also the entire mystery he had with the Naga in this one, I feel like Amish Tripathi always does that. Even in Shiva trilogy, there was the mystery of the Naga, and there's also that sort of mysterious Naga that's, that appears in this book, and his identity is revealed at the end. That part was also really interesting, and I loved the revelation at the end. It was awesome. It was as awesome as the revelation of the Naga in the Shiva trilogy. So yeah, those parts of the book were really good, but overall I found this book a little bit boring. But I have heard that these 2 books are much better than this one. So I'm now going to sit down, probably get a little bit of a snack, and continue reading the Ramchandra series. So I actually picked up these Japanese chips. These seem to be some kind of Hokkaido cream chips, which look really interesting. So this is what I'm going to be munching on, and I'm going to continue reading my book. page 9 of Sita, and it's things like this that really like get to me in books, is when authors just lay everything out in their prose. So it's this line. So I'm betting you are among those hiding behind the trees, great Vishnu. Khar laid sarcastic emphasis on the word great. Now, the word great is already italicized, which means you're supposed to read it with a different intonation as the rest of the sentence. And the context given for like the conversation of the dialogues that are going on between the two characters on this page shows that this character is kind of goading on the character he is calling Great Vishnu. So, do you really need another sentence explaining why the word great is italicized? It's just not necessary. It doesn't add anything to your story. It doesn't add anything to your book. So why does he keep explaining things that happen in his own book, in his own prose? Why? So the time is now around 6 o'clock and I have reached page 87 of Sita, and I am actually really enjoying this book. It's not as draggy or preachy as the first book, and I really like Sita's character a lot. I really like the way Amish Tripathi has developed her character because she's not overly righteous, she's not like just good. Like Amish Tripathi sometimes can make very one-dimensional characters, but Sita I feel is a much more rounded character in this book series than other characters in the past that Amish Tripathi has developed. So she does have an extremely good side, but she does have anger management issues and she does have a temper that gets in her way of like sometimes doing the right thing. And I really like that he's given her at least a little bit more nuance than he's given his other characters. The other thing that I'm really liking is that in the first book, there was always like some kind of tension or some kind of mystery behind the relationship between Vishwamitra and Guru Vashishta. And in this book, we're exploring that mystery and we're exploring that relationship a little bit more. And I'm really liking how throughout the series, the layers of this, like, of the relationship between these two gurus is kind of like getting unfolded. Overall, I'm really liking this book so far, and I'm going to continue reading it and I'll check in with you guys later. I'm on page 118 of Sita, and we've just been introduced to Narad Muni. Honestly, Amish Tripathi has a really nice way of humanizing these god or like sage-like characters from Hindu mythology, because the instance in which Narad Muni has been introduced in this book is hilarious and very silly, but also kind of true to his like character. It's really weird, but it's nice. Hi guys. Okay, so the time is now almost 8 o'clock and I have reached page 160 of Sita, Warrior of Mithila. And I'm actually quite enjoying this book. One of the things I'm really liking about this book is that it's quite fast paced, and also like this book seems to have a lot more events happening which seem to have like a greater importance to the entire story of this series. There are still some flaws, and I think that's mainly to do with just Amish Tripathi's very simplistic and very literal writing style that I don't necessarily enjoy as much. But like story-wise and like the things happening in this book, like plot-wise, I feel like this book is definitely much better than the first one in the series. Hi guys. Okay, so I have reached page 200 of Sita and I am taking a little bit of a self-care break. Basically, I've reached that point in the story now where the storylines of the first and second book are like converging. So that is like when Ram and Sita finally meet and like they get married and stuff. So I've reached that point and it's actually quite interesting, because like I thought that there would be a lot of repetition between the two books, but actually that's not happening. Like the way that Amish Tripathi has kind of handle this sort of overlap is actually quite interestingly done and like quite intelligently done. So I'm really liking that. Hi, Shruti from the future again, stepping in to say that at this point in the vlog, the repetition hadn't gotten bad. But as I continued reading the book later, I realized that there were literal passages which were like chapofied from the first book into the second book, and that was a bit annoying. But right now, I just wanted to take a break and do a little bit of self-care. So that's what I'm doing right now, and then I will continue reading. Okay, so the time is now 10:30 and I did finish a little bit more reading, but it's now time to kick back, relax, and watch some TV. He's already extremely comfortable. Yes. Hi guys. Okay, so the time is now 1 a.m. and I need to get back to my 24-hour readathon. So, in the hopes that I will stay awake and at least finish reading Sita before I sleep for a few hours, I made myself a nice big glass of iced coffee. I want to finish reading Sita tonight, so I hope this helps. Hi guys. Okay, so the time is now 3 a.m. and I have just finished reading Sita, Warrior of Mithila. I have to say that Amish Tripathi definitely has the knack of ending his books on the most shocking cliffhangers ever. And this book is no exception. It really ends at a really, really shocking twist and cliffhanger. And I'm really excited to see how it all ties together in the next book. But overall, I do have to say that I'm going to give this book around 3.75 or 3.8 out of 5 stars. I really like the story and I really like the character of Sita, but Amish Tripathi's writing style is just something that I can't completely digest. It's not just that his writing style is very literal and it's like super duper simplistic, but also just the way he writes dialogues is sometimes very cringe. Like, it's really strange to hear these mythological characters use terms like wow and awesome and just like really modern lingo. It's really strange. It's really, really strange to have them speak like that. But yeah, like I said, this ended at an amazing cliffhanger, so I'm really excited to read the next book. But for now, I am going to sleep because I'm very tired, and then I will read more in the morning. Good morning, everyone. The time is now 8:20 and I am so tired. But I committed to this challenge and I'm going to try to complete it. So, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to start reading Ravan, the enemy of Aryavarta. Okay, so I'm on page 36 of Ravan, and I can already tell why people really like this book, and it's because everyone loves a good villain backstory. I also love a really good, well told villain backstory, and this seems to be kind of like that because what Amish Tripathi has done so far in this book is that he has humanized Ravan. Like, he's not just this demon warlord, or he's not just like this Rakshas king that we know from the Ramayana. And he's not just the villain of the Ramayana. We see Ravan as a young boy and we see the injustices that he's faced. And because of that, I feel like through this book, we'll kind of understand his motivations and we'll understand why he's done the things he's done. And maybe my guess is that we will sympathize with Ravan because of that. And I hope that Amish has done it well because a well told villain backstory is just the best thing ever. And I really hope that that's what we get from this book. So far, it's been good. So far, like, I'm very, very intrigued to find out more about why Ravan has done the things he's done. And yeah, I'm excited to carry on. And even though I'm tired, I feel like this book will help me get through my challenge. Okay, so I've now taken a break from reading to have some breakfast. I'm having a very weird hodgepodge of things. Basically, I'm having sausage, I'm having strawberries with chocolate, and I'm having cheese. I know it's strange, but it's all really yummy things. Okay, so the time is now 12:20 and I have reached page 140 of Ravan. Now, I'm making good progress in this book, but I don't think I'll be able to finish it by 3 p.m. when the time limit of 24 hours is up. But I'm definitely going to continue reading this book and finish it today, so I'm going to vlog the whole experience, even though it's probably going to be after the 24-hour time limit. Now, like I said, I'm on page 140 of this book and I'm really, really enjoying it. I feel like Amish Tripathi has completely upped his game with this book. Honestly, this is the first time I feel that Amish has done a really good job at writing a good, morally grey character with a whole bunch of nuance and just like, I don't know, he's just done a really, really good job at painting a character who is not completely evil but is definitely crooked, but at the same time he does have some redeeming qualities, and that I feel is just the best way to write a character, where it's like he does do bad things but he has his own justifications for it and he has his own way, like he has his own moral code that while you don't agree with, you can still understand why he does the things he does. And I feel that that is good writing, and Amish Tripathi has definitely done that in Ravan. Also, this book is a lot darker than other books. Like, it's much, much more adult, and it's much darker in terms of like the violence and just the themes mentioned in this book. And I'm really enjoying that also. Like, it's not as goody-goody and it's not as like, you know, pristine and clean as his other books. And I'm really enjoying that aspect of this book as well. So yeah, definitely the best Amish Tripathi book that I've ever read, like better than the Shiva trilogy and also better than the first two books in this series. So yeah, needless to say, I'm really enjoying this book. I have just reached chapter 17 and oh my god, things have gotten really good. I've reached a point in the book where I feel like all three books are just coming together into one coherent story, and it is really, really good. Okay, I'm going to be jumping into spoiler territory now. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled on some crucial stuff for the Ramchandra series, then skip to the timestamp that I'll add on the screen. So yeah, skip to this timestamp if you don't want to be spoiled. You've been warned. Skip to that timestamp now. This is your final warning. Okay, so I've reached that part in the story where Ravan is in love with the Kanyakumari, who is a living goddess, and she has convinced him to go on the path of good and become a hero and fix all the problems that are there in India. And his first act of good is that he donates a whole bunch of money to the Kanyakumari to set up hospitals and improve her village. But a greedy few people in that village, they want to steal the money that Ravan has donated, and in doing that they kill the Kanyakumari and they kill her husband. And Ravan is just in a fit of rage right now, and he's killing everyone from that village because he blames all of them for the death of the Kanyakumari. But the thing that we have just found out is that the Kanyakumari was pregnant and she actually gave birth to a baby before she died, and that baby is most definitely Sita. Like, it has to be Sita. It hasn't been revealed yet, but like all the things point to that baby being Sita, which means that if Ravan knows that it's Sita when he like kidnaps her, that's going to lead to a very, very interesting storyline, and I'm excited to read that. But like, that's what's happening in the book right now. Like I said, everything is kind of coming together. All three books, like all the plot points, storylines are kind of merging, and we're getting the bigger picture now, and it's really good. I'm really, really enjoying it. Like, this book honestly is, I've said it, but it's the best Amish Tripathi book that I've read. It's really, really good. The time is 4:47 and I have finished reading Ravan, the Enemy of Aryavarta. I actually really enjoyed this book. I've spoken about it throughout this vlog. I think it's the best book that Amish Tripathi has written, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to give this book about 4.25 out of 5 stars. The only reason why I'm cutting 0.75 stars is because Like I've said in this vlog, I don't really like Amish Tripathi's writing style a lot. I feel like some of his dialogues are really cringe. He still used like modern words like wow and awesome and things like that in this book, and I don't really like that in a more mythological historical setting. But story wise and just character development wise and just the way he's kind of blended the story of all three books together in this one is amazing, and for that I really enjoyed this book. With that, I have finished reading the first three books of the Ramchandra series. Hold on, let me pick up the books. I have finished reading the first three books of the Ramchandra series, and I really enjoyed doing it. I felt like the books just got better and better as the series went on. The first book, which is the Scion of Ikshwaku, I didn't really enjoy this book that much. I gave it only 3 out of 5 stars, although honestly speaking, it should be 2.8 out of 5 stars. I really didn't enjoy this book. Sita, Warrior of Mithila, was much better, and I gave this around 3.8 or 4 out of 5 stars. And like I said just now, this one is honestly the best book in the series and the best book that Amish has written, and this one I gave 4.25 out of 5 stars. So yes, that is my vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this journey with me reading the Ramchandra series, because I really had fun filming this vlog for you guys. If you guys enjoyed this vlog, then give this video a big fat thumbs up. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you guys have read the Ramchandra series and what you guys think about it, because I would love to know your thoughts. And of course, do subscribe to my channel for more book related videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.